All right, before I actually dive into this, I started videoing before and I came across a couple issues that did not make this work properly, but after everything that happened, now I'm even more satisfied. Stay tuned, I'll explain in a moment. All right, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for stopping by, appreciate it. So I'm just going to give a quick explanation so most people that are making guitars that might not have a jig like this, you pretty much get it immediately. But this neck jig is going to serve a couple different purposes. One that I kind of learned a little bit later. As you can see here, we can pretend this is the neck. You can use double-sided tape or different means of attaching, but these two position markers allow the neck for you to use a router and route your truss rod channel. All right, so here's the kicker. This is what makes it all the worthwhile for me. Not only can you, at the moment, make a nice truss rod channel, and also you can do your carbon fiber channels with this nice line. But the one thing that makes it really useful for me in a multi-purpose scenario, and that's what I try to do, is optimize all of my jigs. That's why I keep remaking them, is that I'm going to have a piece of wood that's going to be set to the depth that the headstock needs to be, so that when I can take my router bit, I can route the headstock to the correct thickness rather than doing it on the bandsaw. I wasn't getting very consistent results with my bandsaw, but this is on the money. So what I'm going to do here is, with this stationary block, is that it's going to be the thickness that I need to set the router bit to properly take my headstock down to the thickness that it needs to be. My whole intention is for the new one to be clean and to be precise, instead of having this overhang and stuff. All right, so what ended up being the problem was, as I made these rails a little higher than the actual wood itself for the neck, whereas my previous version, it was pretty much flat. So I'd take my router and it would just glide really nice, but I also wanted to have a little bit of depth so that way I can experiment with a little bit different thicknesses of neck wood. So having said that, from the original version, the new version is by and large amazing now. So I have a little marker. I'll probably end up putting a little wooden stop, but it's marked out where it needs to be. The neck goes into this. You can use double-sided tape, or you can use the painter's tape, CA glue painter's tape trick. If you don't know what any of that is, please contact me and I can explain it to you. But basically, this rail here I have says yes is the rail that this is going to slide down to route out the truss rod channel for this guitar. And also you can move this, and then also you can do the carbon fiber channels as well if you so like. All right, so the cool part here is that with this router that has this nice big shield, and there is a video on how I made this and all that fun stuff, so you can find that on the YouTube channel, is now what I can do is draw a line of where I want that to take the material off the top of the headstock to get our headstock thickness correct. Now I can just go like this, and I can use my router as everything's stationary, and I can get my headstock down to the headstock thickness that it needs to be, you know, for the strings to go up and for the tuners to lock into each other and screw into each other properly, and just how the stuff works, right? So this one little jig gives me two functions. I can do my truss rod channel, I can grab my other router, and then I can take the thickness of the headstock down to where it needs to be, all in one self-contained unit. I love this jig. This solves a couple problems, as mentioned, and who knows, there could be something else that can be added on to be a third solution that I've yet to find just yet. That's just what happens with jigs for me. I love making them. I tried to showcase all of the jigs that I've made to make building a guitar easier. If they're not on the YouTube channel, they're coming soon because I just love sharing these tips and tricks. So there you have it, the truss rod and headstock thickness jig all in one. You can see it. Have a great day, and thank you for checking this out. We'll see you soon.